What up, fam? Welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. It is me, your favorite cousin, your favorite brother, your favorite nephew, your favorite uncle, your favorite father, your favorite son, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and once again, welcome to the channel. This is a life coaching channel, but we cover everything from business to life coaching to entertainment, and we just try to cover the gambit of stuff because we're here for the people. We're here to live our best lives. We're here to be healthy and holistic and have a safe space. But we're also here for some entertainment and some fun as well. So if you want to know more about my business, which is a life coaching business, you can go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. You can also go to www.liveforyouholdings to learn about all of the different business ventures that I got going on, things that are soon to come, things that are being built and to be put out there soon. There's so much happening, so go out there and find out more about the business of what I do, why I'm doing it, how I do it, and whatever. And you can also follow me on social media at Dr. Larry Smith on Instagram and on Facebook. So anyway, guys know I've done several of these things from a life coach's perspective. I looked at Iyanla Vanzant's episodes of Fix My Life. I've looked at different news stories. And so this is just another one of these from a life coach's perspective as to what's going on. Things that I've seen in the news, in entertainment, that I just want to just kind of come on and talk about it and give my take on these things from a life coach's perspective. So let's just dive right into it because I want to at least cover 3 stories that I think are hot right now out there in the media. The first one that I saw, I think I saw it the other day, it was Monique Slaughter. For those of you who don't know Monique Slaughter is one of the characters, the personalities, a reality TV character from Love and Hip Hop, specifically Love and Hip Hop LA, the LA branch of the show. And she got a little bit of negative response from Dr. Dre, who is dating another, Dr. Dre, the rapper, the producer, the billionaire, you know Dr. Dre, who has been going through this whole messy divorce cycle situation in the last few months. And now he's dating a girl named April Jones. April Jones is another character, personality, person from Love and Hip Hop LA. And she actually is the ex-wife of Omarion, who is the singer from the group B2K, the lead singer from the group B2K. So, they've been kind of separated for a while, and it's been like weird situations because she dated one of his group members, Lil Fizz, and it just was kind of weird. Well, now she's allegedly hooked up and in a relationship, quasi, whatever, with producer Dr. Dre. Well, Monique Slaughter decided she was going to put that information out that they had been together for quite some time. But the backlash she received from Dr. Dre, she received a phone call, allegedly, because she released a video, alleging that one of Dr. Dre's people sent two threatening phone calls to her, and she recorded them, and she was crying, and she was saying, "Don't you ever threaten me, I'm not such and such," and all of this stuff. And now that's what people are buzzing about at the current moment in, I guess you would say, reality TV world. Very interesting. One thing I always say in the back of my mind every time I see Monique is that I believe she is in need of a life coach or a really good therapist, because she always seems to manage to attract negative energy into her life. Now, I don't know if she's a bad person. I don't know her personally. I've never met her. But the character type or the personality type that every time I see her engage, it is usually in a negative light. Whether it was how she was working with Lil Fizz and their kid situation or whatever else, it just was not positive, the situation between those two and whenever I see her. And so this is yet another instance in which she's managed to find her way into some type of drama. Now, that was the character that she plays on Love and Hip Hop. She plays the girl who gets into all these dramas and this chaos and this craziness, and she comes across as this crazy girl who interacts with people, and people see her as crazy, and then she got some friends, and it becomes this crazy, chaotic situation. But your normal life, your real life experience should not be a reality TV show. if every time you're on camera and every time you're engaging in something and it's around some type of negative situation in your real life, you have to step back and take some type of stock and inventory as to what you are projecting, you are giving out in life to continually, consistently have this type of experience around you. Something ain't right. And Ayala ain't fixing lives no more, so she can't go on, we can't say go on Ayala, but I'll speak with her, I'll talk with her, I'll work with her. Because I feel like she has a good intention and good aura about her, good life energy. But I think sometimes she lets stuff in life come into the intercession and block all that. And because she does that, you know, she always receives negative energy. But what happens is, to us, it's not a good look. And I think I even responded to a post I saw. It was B. Scott. I like B. Scott because B. Scott puts out a lot of up-to-date current entertainment news. And I'm like everybody else. I'm a normal person. So the stuff is entertaining. And so I read it as much as I can stomach or as much as I can tolerate in my energy. And then I just leave it there. It's just left there. It's just purely for entertainment, and it doesn't engage into my personal life. If I'm gossiping about it with friends, then that's one thing, but it's not really anything I take deep stock in. But I think my response was, these are three people, whether April, Dr. Dre, or even Moniece, that I can go the rest of 2021 and not hear about. Because the energy of all of them, really, because even when you talk about Dr. Dre, with this whole divorce being messy, he had an aneurysm, he was in the hospital, this divorce has not been, him and his wife have been fighting back and forth. They're married for a long time. She's been trying to get a lot of his money. April Jones, and she's hopping from this relation to that relationship, and it's always, like I said, these negative energies. And this is why I say your life, your real life, should not be a reality TV show. It should not be filled with so much drama that we can actually just go with the camera and follow you literally amongst all this drama and we be entertained. You all know, like I know, reality TV may not be scripted, but it's situationalized. If that's even a word, it is situationalized. What does that mean? That means they put people in certain situations for certain outcomes. They throw in alcohol and whatever else that they need to get the entertainment value that they're trying to get out, and they film it. And they slice it and dice it in orders so that the storyline looks a certain way and we see it as entertainment. But you're not actually witnessing real life. So your real life shouldn't feel like it's been sliced and diced and situationalized, and alcohol and other things are included in it to have all this drama. So Moniece needs to chill, slow down, reassess, get out of the limelight, and refigure out her inner spirit and being and reconnect with that. And that is my advice for her as a life coach. Dr. Dre needs to continue to work with his wife. I would suggest that before he jumps into any new entanglements, especially public entanglements, especially with public figures, he finish out that mess, finish out that wahala, all that stuff, and then he moves on. Because until that stuff's finished out, it's still drama, and it's still toxic, and it's still going to bring all of that into his present life. And April, you're a grown woman. You can do whatever the hell you want to. But at the end of the day, my advice to you would be figure out who the woman is and stop associating yourselves with these names. Because it seems like you're associating yourselves with these people in a search to find out who you are. And like I said, I don't know any of these people personally, but I know what they're presenting in front of me. And this is the things that I think. So you're getting what I think here, kind of real raw. I'm just putting it out there. Another story that came that caught my attention this week was Donald Trump. You guys know, if you follow me on social media, if you know me personally and you've engaged in conversation with me, you know that politics is something that I look at and I observe and I view. Once again, just like reality TV or any type of drama, I don't engage it to the left to where it affects me on a deeper level. When I start to feel it building up, and as you who follow me, you know that when I start to feel things impacting me too heavily, I let it go. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I back on out of it. And I leave it alone for a while. But politics is something that I follow because I consider myself an informed citizen, as I want everybody else to be, because you live in this world, so you have to be informed if you're going to at least have some type of peace in life. Well, we all know that Trump was acquitted in the impeachment trial, as expected by many, many people. But what wasn't expected was the Republican situation that came up from it, right? Several Republicans, we know that 7 actually voted to convict him. And then even others agreed that he was wrong and that he was at fault for it. They just didn't feel like the Senate wasn't the forum for that. One of those people was Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And you guys know Mitch McConnell because he'll get up there and he'll talk and he'll do him, and he's never seemingly to want to do anything working with the Democrats in the long term. It seems like he's a staunch Republican, but I don't even know what that is. I don't know if he's a Trump supporter or he's not a Trump supporter. I don't know what he's doing. He's flip-flopping and it's weird. So anyway, he got up there and he gave a long speech of how Trump deserves responsibility morally and other things for the Capitol riot that happened in January. And he gave this scathing remark about Trump. And then he followed it up with an op-ed in a newspaper that was even more scathing, kind of elaborating more. Now, the thing about Mitch McConnell is he does play the fence in the field and he flip-flops. On one minute, he says, I don't agree with what happened. But on the other hand, he says, I won't convict or I won't stand up against it. So it's just, you don't know where, or he says, I honor the Constitution. On the other hand, he's doing things to undermine and to get what he wants around the Constitution. So he's just, a lot. But Trump responded to Mitch McConnell and saying that ultimately said that his leadership sucked. And that there was no way that he should be leading the Republican Party because he is not what the Republican Party needs to be great and to win and to move forward. But what it proved to me is what I've already known. It didn't prove it. It just said, yeah, you said this. These people ain't loyal. These bros ain't loyal at all, right? The minute you turn around, they'll flip on each other. This is why I've said before, I've said it in social media, I've said it here, that I believe that the Republican Party is on the decline because there's two things happening. There's not enough loyalty to each other and to what they believe in. It's hard for them to connect to what they all stand for collectively. So it's not enough loyalty there and a loyalty to each other. But then two, they're out of touch with what's happening in the country and the world around them. They are still operating like it's in the 1950s. And here we are in 2021. We are literally 80 years. It's not 80. But you put the pieces together. We are literally 70 years, that's the number, away from the time period, almost 80 years, from the time period that they seem to be dealing in and living in and experiencing life in. So they're out of touch and there aren't any loyalty amongst what they believe in and what they stand for and what they uphold to each other. And so the minute one says something against somebody, the other one gets upset and they say that person's a bad person, that person shouldn't be in the party, they're ruining the party. Donald Trump is notorious for that. He has no loyalty to nobody but Donald Trump. We've gotten that, right? Hopefully. And so anytime you say anything bad against him, you go against him, he's going to publicly bash and lash you because that's what he's always done. He's not loyal to the Republican Party, but he has been able to come in, intervene into the party and kind of take over it and get the following behind him as opposed to standard Republicans. And part of the reason why is because they're out of touch. And he's willing to say the things that they've always seemingly have wanted to say and wanted to do, but he'll say it directly, even if it comes across negatively for so many people. Negatively for a lot of people, and it's just horrible things that he says. But they wanted to say it, but he's saying what they're not going to say. And so people are following him because he's keeping it real. And you know people like people to keep it real, even if it's not real good. So that's just a mess of a situation. As a life coach, what I see in that situation is I think if the Republican Party is going to stand. Now, mind you, you guys know how I vote, but I can look across party lines when I see craziness and when I want things to get done for the benefit of whole of the country and for people in good in general. I'm open-minded to working with anybody if we can get things done on a positive level, healthy, holistic, peaceful way. What the Republican Party needs to do is distance itself from Trump. You're either with that or you're against that because you can't run the middle ground anymore. You're making it to where there's no existence of a middle ground. So you either have to distance yourself from that and find out what your values and principles are. Outline them and stick to your plan. And say, this is Republicanism, that is Trumpism. we are different, and we stand in honor on this, not on that. But if you're going to keep trying to get votes and trying to keep people voting for you guys by straddling the fence, the Republican Party is on the decline, and it will go away. And there'll be more elections like this one. And I figure the next election and probably the next 2 elections are going to be where the Democrats, they're going to take it. Because they know what they stand for, and the loyalty pact is still there. And the working together for the bigger picture is still there. Republicans are losing their way. This is what it is. So as a life coach, you got to have a plan. I always tell my clients, have a plan, know where you're going so that you can get to where you're going. If you don't know where you're going to fall and collapse and all that other calamity. So figure it out. Figure it out, where you stand, what you believe in, and where you want to go into in the future. And you got to go into the future, so let go of the past, trying to hold on to that, because that ain't working no more. And then another thing that caught my attention, obviously like everybody, I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. A lot of people do. It's a very popular show. I've been watching it since season 1, episode 1, and all that. And I wanted to just kind of pull a little bit out of it, specifically Kenya. I've been noticing that Kenya has been acting rather strange, right? This episode, she was more like she invited everybody overseas, not overseas, I think it was to South Carolina or North Carolina. She invited them there, and she was the hostess. First of all, she initially was throwing shade from the very beginning. Her and her friend Latoya Forever, who's a YouTuber, they took a private plane when everybody else had to take pretty much a party bus. But that's rude. And then they had already picked out rooms, and she gave Marlo a crappy room, just kind of taking an initial stab at Marlo from the jump. And then throughout the night, as things progressed, you would think she would be there present for her partner. She was going to the room. She had brought her daughter, didn't tell anybody else they could bring the kid. She just was being really, really, really detached. Kenya, I'll tell you directly, rude. The whole experience of this trip is messy. The whole experience of this trip is rude, and it should not have been done if you are the host. Even if you and Marlo have a problem, there still is a better way to handle it. That's that catty, mean girl stuff that Kenya is notoriously known for doing. She's always done this is part of her character on this show, is being notoriously rude and doing rude things. But it's almost like because she's going through stuff in life, and you guys know the backstory, she's dealing with processing her marriage or potential divorce. She's trying to be a single mother who doesn't have a lot of help around her to raise her daughter, yada, 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 and so forth. So you guys know she's going through stuff. But at the end of the day, the last thing you should do as a person is when you're going through stuff, project your stuff on other people or treat other people wrong because you're going through stuff. That is completely an unhealthy way to handle your stuff. So Kenya is doing what she's doing in a mean-spirited way. And it doesn't help that she got Latoya Forever over here, who seems to have a mean spirit just in general. Maybe she's trying to put on for this show. Maybe she's trying to fit in to how she thinks she should fit into this show. But she is being all the way turned up mean spirit. It is not cute. That is not cute. In fact, truth be told, I said this to friends, and I say it here. I don't like her on this show. I think she's just a little bit too mean-spirited for this particular show. That's that Love and Hip Hop stuff. That's that Basketball Wives stuff. That's a little different. Yeah, Atlanta got its stuff, but that's a little bit different than what you're trying to do here. It ain't cute. And it's leave that on YouTube. Leave that on your YouTube channel. But Kenya is a grown woman, and she should know how to handle her emotional baggage and stuff that she's dealing with in a grown way. Keep a straight face. Be graceful, be elegant. You were Miss USA. And so therefore you know how to be elegant and be graceful. But the mean girl pageantry crap that happens behind the scene that we don't see when y'all are all smiling, leave that out. It's just completely rude. And I like the fact that Candy checked her. But even when people were checking her, Candy checked her. I think Portia was just kind of like, I'm over it. You can tell Portia's like, I'm over it. And I think even Drew tried to check her. And of course, Marlo, she was just apathetic. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I don't care if I was rude. I'm going through stuff and y'all should just get over it. That is not fair. That is not fair to expect your friends who you invited on this trip to just be treated wrong because you're going through stuff. You're using them as your whipping boys and girls to take advantage of because you're going through stuff. Learn how to process your stuff on your own. Learn how to process your stuff to yourself and come back and be a better person and grow for it, because hurting other people because you hurt ain't the way to go. And that is what a life coach thinks about Kenya Moore in that whole situation. So those are just 3 stories that I just thought I should get on here. I told you guys this channel is about healing and healthiness and wholeness, but it's also about entertainment and fun. So I know some of you guys from the view count of my videos when I go over stuff like this obviously shows that people actually enjoy these videos. So I said I may, as part of the new channel and some of the changes that are going on, incorporate some of this stuff, because I think sometimes you guys think I'm not human, and for whatever reason I get emails and letters of people wondering how do I get to a certain place. I'm just like you. I'm growing, but I'm intentional, right? I'm intentional, and as should you be. You ain't got to be where you feel like you should be. There's no such thing as perfection. This arbitrary idea of perfection is BS. Be you, right? Don't BS. Be you, where you are, and grow, and continue to grow, and continue to be a better person. So just like you, I'm doing that same thing. So, but I also like entertainment. I also like watching TV. I also like movies. I also like fun. I also like friends. I love food. You guys know. I think I even got food videos. This channel is just a channel for the holistic person. So I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to doing this more often. I love you guys. Continue to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Follow me on social media. Go ahead and share some of the videos. Engage with me. Communicate. Let's grow together. Let's know together. Do all that stuff together. I'm going to sow into you. Sow into me. Let's be positive. There's so much more coming. So much more coming. It's going to be a big year. We got things rolling out here. Happy Mardi Gras to those of you, while I'm filming this, it's actually Mardi Gras. So happy Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday to those of you. And then into your lentil season tomorrow on the Ash Wednesday and beyond. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.